Hi everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith, and today I'm going to be journaling through the new Rooted Devotional Kit from Illustrated Faith in my Interleaved Journaling Bible. I'm going to be journaling through the first session, which is called Forever Home. So a quick peek at the kit, we have these really fun vellum shapes. I love the colors. Here's a peek at some of the ones that I plan to use today, and I ended up just putting them on my page and really liked the way that they landed, so I decided to go with that. I moved them over and I'll stick them down with adhesive later. This kit has so many versatile pieces in it that you can use even after you've wrapped up the Rooted Devotional Kit, like these alpha stickers, the stamp set, and the word fetty. And of course, the washi is a really great neutral. I pulled some additional stickers from Maggie Holmes Heritage collection to help with my entry today. Here's that washi. It's like a clear background with a black spotty dot. Again, just so neutral, it's going to be great for projects to come. So I'm going to use my Illustrated Faith tape runner to stick down the vellum shapes. Your adhesive might show through these, but if you plan to layer things on top of the vellum like I do, you can strategically glue them down so that the elements you plan to place on top will cover any adhesive that might show through. So from the Maggie Holmes sheet, I'm going to choose this little house and this phrase that says always remember. They're pretty large, and I'm going to put them over the tape that I used to get the vellum shapes down. I love the way that Lauren has structured her devotional. She gives us a couple of pages of a devotional thought, her experience, and then gives us 3 prompts to work through: listen, reflect, and pray. In the listen section, she gives us a few different worship songs to listen to. In the reflect session, she points us to passages having to do with her devotional topic. And then in the pray section, she gives us an additional scripture and then encourages us to write out a prayer to do with that scripture. And so as I worked through this page, I listened to the song Waymaker by Leland and focused on those lyrics that say, Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, that is who you are. From there, Lauren points us to Revelation 21, verse 4, which says, He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away, referring to the new creation with Christ. Lastly, Lauren points us to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. In Verse 29, Paul says, This is what I mean, brothers. The appointed time has grown very short. From now on, verse 31 says, Let those who deal with the world live as though they had no dealings with it, for the present form of this world is passing away. And when I read that passage, the idea of a sojourner jumped out at me. To sojourn means to stay as a temporary resident. In her devotional, Lauren says, Let us not cling to or find our source of joy in the things that will one day perish. So as I journaled this, I used the Vanessa Alpha stencil to pull out that big word, sojourn. And I considered, where do I need to loosen my grip? To let God fill that space? Is there a relationship that I rely too much on, a location, a possession? What do I need to loosen my grip on? So as you can see, I'm working on a couple of different clusters. I've got kind of my title up towards the middle, and then this smaller cluster that I'm using to layer a bunch of different Maggie Holmes Heritage stickers. The vellum cut beautifully when I ran it through my tab punch. I really wanted to bring some more of that beautiful, rich green color, and I had no problems punching that out and then getting that down with both the tape runner and then some of the washi tape from the kit. I'm going to go ahead and outline the verses that I'm journaling off to the right, and then get started on a little prayer off to the left. Now that the main elements of my page are done, I'm going to pull out some of these shapes, more like finishing touch stamps. At least that's what they look like to me. And I'm going to put those around the page. So I'm going to start with the largest and work my way down to the smallest, just putting them in some of the white space that I have left over. Once my stamping was done, it was still looking a little too plain for me. I wanted to bring in some additional color. So I went through my container of big brush pens from Faber Castell and swatched a few of them on the back of my Wordfetti. I will list all of the specific color numbers down in the video description below in case you want to look through yours and see if you have a great match. These aren't exact matches, but they're pretty close. So once I was done swatching them, I went back to some of those open shapes and colored them in with the marker. So I was careful of not putting two pinks right next to each other, not putting two of those dark greens right next to each other, and so on. Then I stamped the word hope down at the bottom. I felt like that was appropriate. We certainly have a great hope for our forever home. I love this little rainbow outline that's included with the stamp set. I didn't want to use any more black ink, so I went in with the Faber Castell brush pen and just colored the stamp, and it turned out great. The last thing that I'm going to do, because it still feels a little too empty for me, is put in some black watercolor paint splatters all over the page. And then I'll finish it off with a date stamp. I definitely wanted to remember when I had journaled this, and that is going to do it. So I've got a couple of photos of my finished page here at the end, and I want to remind you that it is not too late. In fact, we're just starting to go through the Rooted Devotional Kit. We'd love to have you join us. It's linked down in the video description below for you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.